Hey guys, so as most of you know, I had an anatomy scan coming up, and that was done yesterday morning. And I just decided that I would go ahead and update you guys so you didn't have to wait all the way until later on in the week when I do my 20-week pregnancy update, that I would just go ahead and make a separate video today on just my anatomy scan and how that went and kind of what happened when I was there and the results. So, as I said, I had my anatomy scan yesterday morning. It was at 8 o'clock, which at the time of making the appointment didn't seem like a huge big deal or anything like that. But as fate would have it, my younger sister, who has also been pregnant, went into labor on Sunday morning. And so I stayed in touch with her throughout the day. And then Sunday night at around 11:30, she gave birth to my absolutely beautiful niece, who I will show here. And everything is great. She's completely healthy. Everything's 100%. She's actually getting ready to go home today with the baby, which is really, really exciting. I'm just so thrilled for her. And so Andrew and I had to go see her that night, which the hospital that she went to is about an hour and a half away from where we live, as my sister lives about 2 hours away. And so we took the trip down there, and we got down there around 1 o'clock in the morning, and my sister was breastfeeding at the time, and they were still not letting any visitors back. My mom was back there with her, and her boyfriend was back there with her, but we waited in the waiting room for a little while, and then they let us back, and I was the first one who got to hold her, and she is absolutely amazing. She was a little over 6 pounds, and she is just adorable, and it was just an amazing experience. Not to say that I've never, been around babies or held babies, because I have, but it's just a totally different perspective when you have a baby in your arms that was in somebody's tummy just a few hours earlier, and you have your own baby in your tummy. So it was just a really, really cool experience. It just kind of made it more real that yes, this pregnancy is going to result in a adorable baby, and so it was really, really cool. So we didn't get home until about 4 o'clock in the morning, and we tried to get some sleep and had to be up again at 7 for the scan. So we were exhausted, but it was definitely worth it. I wanted to record or take pictures or something, but apparently, the policy is that you can't, which I think is really annoying, considering that it's going to be, the last time that I get to see him. I just really wanted to record it and everything like that, but apparently they don't let you, and so I was pretty bummed about that. I wanted to sort of put some clips on YouTube for you guys to see, but we couldn't do it. So we got back to the ultrasound room about 8:30. So they started the scan, and it was really strange, I guess, because it was hard to kind of see what they were looking at. She also was training like a doctor or something. She had somebody else in the room who she was teaching, and so that kind of made things just a little uncomfortable. It just kind of made things a little weird. She was kind of explaining more to the lady who was sitting with her rather than explaining to Andrew and I, what she was looking at. And so I was kind of bummed about that. I wasn't really a huge fan about that, and I kind of felt like she was just using my body to teach somebody rather than explaining it to me. I don't know how to read ultrasounds. I don't know where the kidneys are. I don't know what she's looking at. And so I had to keep on asking her questions and sort of ask what was going on, which was just a little bit annoying. And also, they have something really cool that I never even knew they had. They can flip the switch when they're looking at the umbilical cord or when they're looking at the heart, and they can see red and blue. You can see the blood pumping throughout the body, and it was just through the arteries or whatever they were looking at, and it was really, really cool. I thought that was really interesting. The scan took almost 40 minutes because baby boy, who is definitely a boy as seen here, he was very, very rowdy. He was moving around like crazy. He would not sit still. And he was being very, he was just not cooperative at all. She would look at his heart and he would sort of just like cover it up, like specifically put his hands over his chest when she was trying to look at his heart. So she would like go and try to look at his kidneys, and he would just sort of like flop around, and he was just not having it. It was too early in the morning for him, and I just kind of felt under the impression that he was just not happy about the ultrasound. She was shaking him up a lot, and she was pushing down on my tummy a lot, and he was just moving like crazy. I could feel him moving, and he just did not seem like a happy little guy. So I was ready to kind of get it over with. I was getting really uncomfortable. They had me laying flat on my back, and towards the end of it, they had to like tilt me, like my head downwards, to try to get a better look at his heart or something like that. And it started making me feel sick, and so I was ready for them to be done with that. But overall, everything is great. He is doing 100%. Looking awesome. They didn't have to schedule another scan. They said that he is looking amazing. He was weighing in at about 13 ounces, and that was yesterday at 20 weeks and 1 day, which she said is great for his age. She also measured his leg bone and his arm bone from his elbow to his shoulder, and she said that he looks like he's going to be a long baby, which is kind of exciting because hopefully that is news that he's going to be tall, like his daddy. I am 5'2", and Andrew is 6'2", so I'm hoping that he'll take more after daddy in the height aspect, because I'm pretty short and I don't want him to be a huge shorty. But everything looks amazing. He looks great. He was such a little wiggle worm. And so that's why it took so long, and I think the length of it really kind of just got a little too long. They were just pushing on my belly a lot, and they were kind of just tilting me back and forth, up and down, and it wasn't making me feel that great. But I was just so excited to see him, and I will definitely insert some pictures at the end of this video so you guys can see the pictures that we got, which they aren't amazing pictures because he was moving a lot, and so she was trying to get some profile shots for us, and he just was not having it. He did not want to sit still. He did not want to sit the way that she wanted him to sit, which she said that he was positioned at the time of the anatomy scan. He was head down, and he was facing my spine, so I don't know if he like thinks he's gonna come soon, but he better just stay in there, chill out, and relax. But it was really cool to see him on there just moving around. She would like go and try to zoom in on his heart, and then his heart would be like right there in the screen just pumping away, and then it would just disappear, and there would be like some other random body part there. And so it was really cool, and he was just a rowdy little guy. But that is it. That is my anatomy scan update. Overall, it's really just looking at every tiny little detail of the baby. We got to see his brain, we got to see his heart, we got to see his kidneys, his umbilical cord, his little feet and hands, and then we of course got that potty shot, which was really cool. And so overall it was a really good experience. I just wish maybe we would have had a more personable technician who was more focused on us than the person she was training. And other than that, it was a great experience, and I'm really glad that I got to see him, and it makes me kind of sad to know that I'm not going to see him again until he's here, but it also makes me excited because, you know, this is it. This is the countdown. This is the halfway point countdown, and it's crazy to say that I only have 19 weeks and 5 days to go before his due date, which is wow, like 19 weeks to where I was from finding out that I was pregnant, or just from going to 19 weeks just went so fast. And so it really is starting to scare me and make me a little nervous because he's going to be here before I know it. But anyways, guys, I will see you later on this week when I do my 20-week pregnancy update. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.